Um, let's get in. Let's invite our friends. This is a subject that I know people have been asking questions about, and I like the fact that some of my colleagues in the media have picked up this story, and so far so good. I want to thank all of you for the effort you're making in ensuring that the world gets to know about these stories. But how I wish we could do more. How I wish that as media houses, as news platforms, as blogs, we could take up these matters and help families like the two which are known personally to me. They are suffering. There are many others. Please share those stories with me. Come on this timeline. Let us share. Let's tell our story, because if we do not, then families end up suffering, and yet these are things that we could help to deal with. So let me start with the case of my sister Dorothy, just to give an update in terms of what has gone on. So since the matter came up in court, we are having issues. You will allow me to I'm doing this, like I said, enjoying some Seventh-day Adventist music, which I love very much. So you will hear a bit of that on the background. I do not have the rights to that music. So I need to give an update on what has happened on the question of Dorothy's death, because this is a matter that has been very emotive and which has also attracted a lot of attention from all over. I want to thank everybody that has been supporting us in this quest. From far and wild, I mean wild over. We've seen a lot of support from Australia, from the USA. You guys have been magnificent. From the UK, in Kenya, people closer home, all over Africa. It has been a fantastic job, and we want to thank all of you. So here is an update. After the secret burial of our sister Dorothy by her partner Kinara, Mr. Obadia Kinara, there was an application in court pending the hearing and determination of the issue of the next of kin. It became necessary for the family to go to court and seek orders to exhume the remains of our sister, so that there can be proper closure. I mean, you can never bury someone's daughter as if they were a dog or a wild animal, and therefore that has been granted. And I want to clarify the position of that as far as the court order that was given is concerned. It was and we want to thank Judge Brooke Allen of Probate Court Number 2 in Tarrant County for the decision. I mean, it could have gone in any other way, but of course it is based on proper interpretation and reading of the law. So the order that was given last week, I have seen some coverage in Nairobi News. I've seen people reporting about this, but I want to read the order so that, and I'm going to share this order on this live video so that people can read it on their own and be able to understand. And where you have questions, please feel free to talk about it. I'm now talking about the case of Dorothy Ongera. Those of you who are joining, this is an issue that has been very, very, very emotive to not just the family, but many other people around the world. So the order that has come out is, and I want to read it. This order is dated on March 4th, 2021. It was issued in the matter of case number 2021 PROO 264-2 David Ongera versus Obadia Kinara and Beckett Incorporated, Golden Gate Funeral Home, in the Probate Court Number 2. This is the order of plaintiff's motion to exhume the body. So basically this was David Ongera, the father to Dorothy, moving to court to ask the court to allow that they exhume the body. So upon hearing, which was on March 3rd, 2021, the court heard the plaintiff's motion to exhume the body of Dorothy Ongera. The plaintiff, David Ongera, appeared. This was a matter that was done via Zoom. And I want to read the most important part, that after hearing and reviewing the evidence and considering the argument of counsel, the court grants the motion to exhume the body. This basically means the court has directed that the body will be exhumed, and therefore the family's wish to exhume the body has been granted by the court. Now, however, and I'm reading it verbatim, because this court has not yet adjudicated the person with the right to control the disposition of the remains of Dorothy Ongera after exhumation, there is not yet any person with the powers to direct the cemetery as to the disposition, including whether or not an autopsy shall be performed. Therefore, and this is where the rider is, this order is suspended until the jury trial of this case, set to begin the week of March 23rd, 2021. In brackets, the Honorable Judge has said that this trial is to determine the person with the right to control the disposition of the remains of Dorothy Ongera, according to the Texas Health and Safety Code section 711.002, which confers mandatory jurisdiction on this statutory probate. Therefore, it means, yes, the order has been given, but the exhumation will not happen until then the court gives its direction on how the body, who will be handed the body, because Mr. Kinara had assumed control of the body, and that has been challenged by Dorothy's father, and therefore until that matter is had and determined, then the exhumation will not happen, because who then takes control of the right to what happens to the body? So until that matter is determined, and this is to correct the story that has been doing the rounds on social media, I'm going to share this as well on this video, so that people can then understand what the import of the decision that was given is. I'm going to try and share that video, that order here. I'm not so sure how that is going to happen, but I'm going to try and attach that here, so that then we can get people to understand. And if you want to take interest in reading that order, I'm going to share it. Inbox me, we will be able to share it, so that we have the right information coming out there. The article that went out with the Nairobi News today, we appreciate really the family and everybody who cares about what this has been to everyone that cared about Dorothy. They appreciate really the effort and everything that is going on to it, but we needed to clarify that position, that the order to exhume was given, but the body has not been exhumed as yet, as due process has got to take place after the order that was given by the Probate Court Number 2, Honorable Judge Brooke Allen. So, but what is to follow? Just to give an idea of what the process is like for exhuming the body as per the law, is that once everything is now set and the right person, the next of kin, has all the authority to be able to move ahead with the exhumation, then the process will take a minimum of about 5 days, because they've got to make sure that the local authority is informed. There is a form that will be filled, and it will be done by the family, now the right next of kin, and then at that point the local authority will then make sure that the grave is inspected, to make sure what kind of machinery will be required, to make sure what kind of condition the grave is in, And at that point, then once the local authority, the environment officer, I think, will then give a report, make a determination. The family will then, of course, confirm that they have appointed a funeral director who will now oversee the entire process. Then once the local authority is satisfied that all the measures as per the health safety standards in the state of Texas, then they will proceed. Now what will happen is that the exhumation will happen very early in the morning, at the earliest possible time, to protect especially the public, to make sure that the safety, that the exhumation process, because of the heavy kind of machinery, because of how rigorous the process is, that the public is not unduly subjected to the trauma or possible experience of witnessing the exhumation. So what happens is that once the body has been, the casket has been removed, that is the coffin, there will then be a new coffin that will be on site. The body will then be moved from the coffin in which it was interred. It will then be now put in the new casket. It will be properly identified by way of name tagging and with proper information as required by law. It will then be sealed and moved to the funeral home or a cemetery of their choice. But now, because the family would want, and hopefully the family will get the orders, they would want to have the body, an autopsy conducted. It will then follow that all the other processes will follow in accordance with the laws in Texas. So that is basically just to give you an idea. So it will take, once the matter of the next of kin is conclusively adjudicated by the jury as directed by Honorable Judge Brooke Allen of Probate Court Number 2 in Tarrant County, state of Texas. It will then follow that we will have between 5 to 7 days for the process to be concluded and for other matters to follow now as per the wishes of the family. So that is just to basically give you an idea of what is happening. So we are looking forward to the week beginning on 23rd of this month for the family, for the adjudication on the issue of the next of kin to begin, and we hope the jury will be able to conclude this matter as quickly as possible, so that then the family will be granted their wishes. I think there is something else that in the interest of justice that I would want to passionately bring out here in this video, is that we know their efforts to try and falsify, and this is a ploy being driven by Mr. Kinara and his sympathizers, to try and falsify a divorce between Dorothy Ongera and her legal husband, Mr. Dennis Mose Nyakundi, my namesake, and pole sana once again. This is not an experience anybody would wish on anyone. So there is an effort, and we know what they're trying to do. The divorce they are alleging to have taken place in November, sometime in 2018. I think the court documents, the evidence that has been admitted in the court without any objection from Mr. Kinara's counsel is that there was never a divorce, and there is no record within the judiciary of the Republic of Kenya to show that any divorce proceedings ever happened between Dorothy Bosibori Ongera and Mr. Dennis Mose Nyakundi. So this is very, very important, and it is something we want to warn anybody out there, that in the interest of justice, we already know what effort they're trying to do, trying to falsify documents, including gazette notices, including public notices, including proceedings, including forging a divorce case number. We want to put it on record, and I want to speak as a defender of those that are facing any or potentially risk facing injustice, that this is a matter we are following. And I want to invite my colleagues in the media, both in Kenya and abroad, please follow up this matter, because this is a matter of great importance. A family cannot, as if it is not hard enough to lose a loved one in mysterious circumstances, someone goes ahead and inters the body secretly, and now when the quest for justice is going on, they are using other people to try and circumvent the law, to try and upset the cause of justice. And I want to submit, and please help me, fellow Kenyans, fellow citizens of the world, good people. I know there are still good people out there, as have expressed throughout this whole exercise and the entire ordeal. I want to say that we want to plead with you that please come out, let us stand for justice. And if there is any official within the government press in the Republic of Kenya, within the judicial system in the Republic of Kenya, or within any other authority that is involved in giving information concerning the court process and the quest for justice for the death of Dorothy Ongera, I want to call upon you and warn you that even if you feel you're doing this in secret, the same God who has fought to get this matter thus far, I want to tell you that the same God will expose you, that the same God will confuse you. If you believe in the Bible, we know how you can get confused, how the Spirit of God will confuse you. You will leave evidence that is so obvious. And therefore, I want to submit that the same God that the God of the mountain is the same God of the valley, and He's going to make sure He is going to give justice to Dorothy, her family, her siblings, her parents, and most importantly, her children, the 6 children who are, really going through a very difficult time. And I want to give an update at this point that in the case of the children, again, the court has been very has served justice in as far as the facts of the case are concerned, and I can confirm here that an order was given, and Mr. David Ongera, who is Dorothy's father, was given full custody and will make all the decisions about the children, the 6 children, include all the decisions, their education, their health, and everything. And there's a process to have the children admitted for counseling and psychosocial support. I think that process has already been undertaken, and the court actually ordered that if Mr. Kinara wants to see the children, then he can only do so under strict supervision of a sheriff, or he will not do it on his own. He will be accompanied by children welfare officials. So I think that is a major decision that has come, and it is a good one, and we should be happy, and we thank God so far for how the important milestones have turned out so far. So having said that, I want to share a link to the petition, which is very alive, and I want to thank all those that have signed. So far we have I think well over 1,000 signatures. We want to do as many as we can. I want to single out individuals who have come to my inbox and they are asking for information. They are asking for information about the petition and the different kinds of decisions that have come, and I have shared as much as I could, and I'm still doing so. I want to share the petition that we did, and you can go there, please. If you've not signed, make sure that you do so. so that we can, press the authorities into attention, and they can be able to agree with us in terms of what is going on. So that is the update. So let us go on our knees, pray for the cases that are coming up. So far, God has been good. Allah has done the family a great favor, and justice, as far as those of us who believe in justice being served, then we believe that God has been good so far. Allah has done, shown his face on the family, and as we go into the big one, which is coming up in a few days, let us pray and that God will continue showing people. I've shared the petition contacts on the petition link on this video. Please share it, and let's make sure that the people sign as many as they can. We've got a lot of goodwill, and I can tell you that a senior government official in the United States has actually got to my inbox today. I will not reveal his identity, and he has assured me that he is going to do all he can to get the authorities' attention on this matter. He has also given us advice on how the family can move this forward, and I'm going to share this with the family. He's actually still on my inbox even as I am doing this live video. And man of God, I want to thank you for how magnanimous you have been. You've reached out to the family. I know you've spoken to the individual members of the family, the siblings of Dorothy's, and you have also reached out to me, and I believe with many other people who have been passionate in agitating for justice in this particular issue. So I want to thank you. You're a man of God and a great civil servant of the United States government. I thank you for how magnanimous you have been, how you have encouraged me all day today. I thank you very much for that. Please don't stop. Continue doing this. Continue reaching out to us whenever you feel there is advice that the family needs to get and you're not able to reach any of them. Please do so by reaching out to us, and we will be able to relay that information to the family, and eventually the attorneys for the family will be able to get whatever advice is necessary within the strict confines of the law, so that they may be able to get all the support and they may be able to get all the steps right in this process. So we thank you very much for that, and we want to continue asking for everybody to pray for Dorothy's family, the parents, the children, and everybody that is involved in this. Now, like I said, the exhumation order was granted, but it is suspended until the matter of the next of kin is adjudicated by the jury in the week beginning 23rd of this month. I think that is exactly 2 weeks away. So let's keep tabs on that. The other point that I wanted to make is that I know there are people trying to circumvent the law and try and suggest and falsify the claim that Dorothy and Dennis were ever divorced. We want to warn everybody involved in that chain, in that process, that our eyes are on you. As a journalist myself, as media practitioners, we are there. Thank you, Candy, for your comment. Thank you, everyone that is following this video. Please share, invite people. Let's put the word out there. And so that I emphasize that point, everybody in the judicial system in the Republic of Kenya, within government printers and government press, and even the department, State Department for Immigration, we want to put everyone on notice that any mischief in as far as the issue of Dorothy's divorce is concerned. I've been in contact with Mr. Mose. He's my namesake. He went to school with my sibling, and he's someone that we talk very closely, and I do know for a fact that they were never divorced. I had close relations with Dorothy as my younger sister, as my younger cousin, and we shared, and I do know for a fact that they were never divorced legally. So any claim, and we want to remind Mr. Obadiah Kinara and his sympathizers that there is a document, there is an piece of evidence that was filed before the Honorable Court, and that regards the decree that was given, the divorce decree, and it was not contested by counsel representing Mr. Kinara, and therefore any attempt to now turn around on that evidence I think will be met with the full force of the law, and it is not even anybody else but God is going to fight. And the last point I wanted to say, the third point is that the issue of Dorothy's children and in whose custody they will be, that matter has been determined by the court with competent jurisdiction, and it has granted the full rights to Mr. David Ongera, who is the biological father to Dorothy, and Mr. Kinara will only have inspected access to the children once a month, if at all he would so desire, but he will not see the children alone. He has to be accompanied by officials who are responsible for children's welfare and enforcement of the law. So thank you very much. And lastly is that the online petition is still alive. I've shared the link. Please distribute that link. Let's get as many signatures as we can. So far we have done well. We've got to about over 1,000 of them. We want to rekindle that spirit that we had within the first 2 or 3 days. There has been a slackening or sort of lethargy in going down there, sharing that link and getting people to sign. So please, if you're watching this video and you've not signed, I'm appealing to you, I'm pleading with you, please sign. We now have good people who are even willing to bring up this matter to the highest authorities and officers within the United States and even in the Republic of Kenya, and we want to make sure that the petition and the cause for justice has got all the support. Thank you everyone. May God bless all those who have been working tirelessly on this matter. Thank you for the sentiments. Now, if you believe you have another story that needs support, please do so. Feel free to get to my inbox, go in there and share the information that you feel can be helpful, and we'll try and make that appeal to our people. And we know Kenyans, we know Africans, we know there are still very many good people out there who can be able to come out and offer support to families like those. It doesn't have to be a funeral, it doesn't have to be, it could be a medical appeal for a patient who's still in hospital, who's still alive. We would try and appeal to our people to come out and support that, and many other cases. You can put in a comment. You can also go to YouTube and follow my channel. We are trying to see how we can do this humanitarian support work, and like I said, I have said before, please don't send any money to my number or to anything that bears my name. Please do so. Offer your support by sending whatever it is that you want to do to the platforms that I have shared here, and I have no agency arrangement. I have no right to collect any or receive any form of support in terms of the cases that I put on this on my videos or on my platforms, as you know, the different platforms that I have access to. So please do so by going to the specific platforms, if it's M-Pesa, if it is GoFundMe, if it is a pay bill, whatever it is, please, if it is Cash App, if it is any platform, if you feel you want to support in kind, please get in touch. Let's connect you to the families for you to be able to channel your support to the right people. So at this point in time, and I want to thank everybody for all the support that you have been giving us. Please share this video once you get the opportunity. Like I said, there are 2 cases that I am seized of in terms of articulately being able to share the information about what they are going through. And if you feel moved, please do so by using the platforms and the numbers and the contacts that we have shared. And like I said, I have a gentleman who works for the United States government who has been colossal in terms of, you know, sharing information, guidance, and saying he believes that the case of Dorothy deserves. He's just sent me a message here. Thank you to my inbox. We need international lawyers, as I am reading. You should come visit a law class and share with American future lawyers. Yes, I am already in. I just enrolled for my LLB classes, Bachelors of Law, and God willing, in the next few years we'll be able to finish the course and come out here and articulate the issues, not just on social media like I am doing right now, but I can be able to competently do so in a court of law and represent people who are deserving of such representation. And if there are good lawyers out there, please come out, share information, especially those who are doing public interest litigation in the United States or wherever it is. Please come out and share your experience, come out and share your advice in terms of how some of these issues can be handled, not just in the United States, but even here in Kenya and whichever part of the world that you believe you have the right competence, you have the right jurisprudence, and you have the capacity to be able to handle cases, to be able to help families. Families are suffering out here. Let me tell you, you may not understand until you go through this, and that is why, for me, having been a victim of pain like this, and then you are now being subjected to experiences like the 2 cases that I've talked about here. Honestly, you will then see the need for sharing with passion and getting to be able to support. If you can afford anything to spare for these families, the least you can do is spare a thought and commit them in prayer. As you go on your knees tonight, this morning, this afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are watching us from, and you will be able to have contributed in giving hope to a family that sees nothing but darkness in the circumstances they find themselves in. And it's not just the 2 cases I've talked about of Dorothy and Priscilla. I know there are thousands, if not millions, of such cases out there that deserve the attention of the public. They deserve the attention of the authorities. They deserve the attention of we as the media, my media colleagues. Let's pick these human interest stories. This is where really you can touch a life. And if that is your mission in this world, then I believe that you have a real chance to tell unique stories, to put a smile on someone's face. But for now, I think without any further ado, I think we've done this for about an hour now or thereabout. I want to say that we will be giving updates on these cases, but if you feel touched, please come hit my inbox like this gentleman and many others have done, just to give us encouragement by saying I am going to support this family this or the other way, and God will surely bless you. And let's keep the conversation going. I am always online for those who wish to engage and indulge on these and other issues. I am available on Facebook. This is my only official page. Official account. There is a Facebook page that you can also follow and like. I have the Kurunzi TV page, which you can also go in there and like. I mean, that is the only thing I am asking you to do. If you may, you can also go to our YouTube channel, that is Kurunzi TV, and subscribe and click on the notifications button. You can share if you do not mind, so that then we can also continue doing the work that we have embarked on doing as a way of serving mankind and helping those of us using the experience and the exposure and the opportunity that we have to try and support otherwise deserving people that will not get the chance to be heard. So the only thing is that you can go there. This video will be available shortly for sharing on Facebook. We are also trying to grow the Instagram following and all the other platforms. You can always go back and watch this video again. You can also always go to YouTube, subscribe, share, click on notifications, and be able to support the work of giving hope to people that would otherwise not have any hope. So at this point in time, that's all I would say for now. I want to wish everybody a blessed evening, a blessed morning, afternoon, or a peaceful night, whichever part of the world you are watching us from. For our friends who are watching this from Australia, and that part of the world, it is so late into the night, but we are happy that you still, some of you are still awake, and you're even able to come to the inbox and say thank you, kudos for the good work that you're doing. So I really appreciate. For those of us in the United States, in the UK, in Canada, in Europe, generally in Asia, we thank you. Our friends who are following from the Middle East, from Qatar, we getting following from the Emirates, United Arab Emirates. We're getting, the kind of following that we get is from all over the world, and we thank every one of you for that. So unless there is any issue or anybody who wants to come on live, I think I want to end it at this point in time and say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. We see you again tomorrow. Thank you everybody that has watched this, and may God bless you abundantly.